everybody. Welcome to another Autumn 2013 SWAT review. My name is Kate, otherwise known as Narataki.
And I'm Alan, otherwise known as Hisui.
We're from ReverseThieves.com, and you can go there to get other SWAT reviews for the new season, case closed reviews for the past season, as well as our monthly Speakeasy podcast.
This time we are looking at the first episode of Tokyo Ravens, which is from Studio 8-Bit, and it is streaming on Funimation.com.
Funimation's newly revamped website that works like 100 times better than their old one, so...
Which is like what they needed. It took us a while to find where the simulcasts were, but at least when we found it, the player loaded up quickly and I didn't have to wait,
5 minutes, literally, for anything to happen. Yeah, so... Totally worth, checking it out and going there and watching it as opposed to, waiting for it to show up elsewhere. So Tokyo Ravens is about this guy and this girl who are descendants of this magic-using family. And it's modern-day Japan, and magic has been used in the world, they said, since, World War II. So it's just sort of integrated into modern, normal, modern life.
Like a career path is, I'm a demon hunter.
So they are descendants of this family, and the guy is kind of untalented or he thinks he's untalented at magic and doesn't want to take over.
Plus he's from a branch family, so he's like, I'm already from a minor part of the family. I'd just rather have the girl from the main branch take over and everybody will just be happier that way.
And she's really talented, but when we meet her, you can kind of tell that she really doesn't want to do it by herself and that she'd really like a partner, and we kind of see that when they were kids, they made a promise to help each other, and either he's forgotten or he doesn't care, I don't know, whatever it is. So that's kind of all we know about the magic world so far. We know that there's some generals, we know that Tokyo has some magic battles and some monsters problems.
We see that on the TV where there are all these guards and one of the divine generals has to take out this super evil tree spirit.
But most of the episode is kind of setting up sort of his idyllic lifestyle, I guess you could say. I mean, just kind of hanging out with his friends and not really having a lot of cares in the world. And then, of course, that's kind of shattered by the end of the first episode. That sounded way more interesting than when I actually watched it.
Well, because a lot of the episode is the friend girl being like, you should become a mage! And him being like, no, I don't want to. You should become a mage! No, I don't want to. And the friend being in the background, you guys sure are there. I don't know what I'm doing here. Third wheel. Yay!
Yeah, but the delinquent guy was the most interesting character. Maybe because he's a delinquent. But, I don't know, I felt like he at least he was more interesting only because he obviously is not who he says he is. Because he, knows about the magic and he knows about the generals. But then the main guy is very, I don't know. I mean, he's not wishy-washy, but at the same time, he's not really active. He feels sort of not there at the moment. You gotta say something. I really don't have a lot to say about this show because it's so forgettable.
It feels like if it was the hero's journey, it feels like he keeps getting telegrams in the mail about the call to adventure, and he just keeps throwing them in the shredder. Being like, I know where this is going. I'm not taking your call to adventure. And I mean, that is part of the hero's journey, but it seems like he spent 5 years just avoiding it.
I wonder if there is a reason why he's avoiding it. I also wonder if his childhood friend... there's two childhood friends. This is getting confusing. The red-haired girl who's, spunky and such. I'm wondering if she has some sort of reason for trying to push him to be a mage as well. Because everybody in the show is sort of, trying to get him to be one. But we don't really know anybody's motivation for that, except for, obviously, the main head of the family girl. That's kind of clear. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how everybody else is related to it because, as I said, the delinquent guy is clearly not just some high schooler because he knows things that he shouldn't know. So I don't know if the other girl is also, some sort of similar situation.
I mean, this may be me reading into stuff, but hey, what the heck, we're doing a review here. I got the impression that it was a good career path to go on. It might be a dangerous career path, but it was like it would bring a lot of glory to what was otherwise a branch family. And I think she basically thought it was what was best for him. Obviously, the delinquent friend had some, hidden knowledge, but I just got the impression that she thought that it was like it would be the best life path for him.
That makes sense because every teenage girl that we've met in this series, that's all the women in the series so far are all in love with him. So guess that makes sense. I forgot to mention that part at the beginning, but that's part of the deal. And it looked like from the opening/ending that there will be more girls who show up. I'm pretty sure none of them are falling in love with the delinquent, even though, I don't understand why that would be. But
he has a magic spell that keeps girls away from him because otherwise he wouldn't be able to do anything, Kate. You just have...
He wasn't that great, Al. Let's not get carried away. He was just more interesting than the main guy. And then there's kind of this, we meet one of the generals near the end, and she's sort of this, she really creeped me out, only because, all the food that she ate, they made a real point of having her lick it a lot and have, saliva, and I was like, okay, guys, let's dial it back a few notches, okay?
She might as well have been like, I'm BJ, the Divine General. It is a show that is just unremarkable. You know what it reminded me of, oddly enough, just in my reaction to it? Tokyo Underground.
That's actually a decent comparison just because it's kind of one of those things that will absolutely, for good reason, get lost in the shuffle. That's how it feels.
Yeah, there's nothing objection. Well, other than, what do you call it?
That kind of weird licking girl thing. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Other than her, there's nothing horrible about the show. There's just nothing that says, oh, I've got a busy schedule, I should watch this. I mean, at least when I watched Beyond the Boundary, that had really nice Kyoto animation art to it. And it had that cool older girl character who looked like she could have been interesting, although she probably wouldn't be in the show a lot. Whereas this was eh.
Yeah, I just feel very I'll forget it by tomorrow. Just, I don't really think it's worth your time. It's not because it's so bad, but just because there's better, more memorable shows out this season.
Yeah, it's just disappointing. Alright, see you guys next time.